Good morning. I am Day. I am in recovery from loss, grief, trauma, and addiction. In my years of active recovery, where I have created a toolbox in order to intentionally pursue recovery for myself, I have, upon awakening in the morning, read affirmations, devotions, reflections, and meditations to tie all the pieces of me, all the parts of me together, gently, lovingly, and sometimes even fiercely, to face each day. Walk with me on the recovery journey of hope, renewal, resilience, and self reflection. And remember that you are not alone. Fair use. Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. February 24. A Thankful Heart. I try to hold fast to the truth that a full and thankful heart cannot entertain great conceits. When brimming with gratitude, one's heartbeat must surely result in outgoing love, the finest emotion that we can ever know. As Bill sees it, page 37. My sponsor told me that I should be a grateful alcoholic and always have an attitude of gratitude. That gratitude was the basic ingredient of humility. That humility was the basic ingredient of anonymity. And that anonymity was the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, even reminding us to place principles before personalities. As a result of this guidance, I start every morning on my knees, thanking God for three things: I'm alive, I'm sober, and I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. Then I try to live an attitude of gratitude and thoroughly enjoy another 24 hours of the AA way of life. AA is not something I joined, it's something I live. Fair use. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al Anon, February 24. Isn't it exasperating to go to the grocery for an item only to find the shelf empty? Fortunately, grocers can correct that situation by taking inventory to learn which shelves need replenishment. The same is true for me. A fourth step inventory eliminates my own empty spaces, my shortcomings. This doesn't have to be a painful or scary experience. I don't have to pass judgment on an empty shelf, but unless I take the time to become aware of it, I won't do anything to fill it, and the problem will continue. By taking inventory, my empty spots can be filled with the help of the remaining steps. I experience the healing power of these steps whenever the formerly hurtful circumstances recur, while the pain that I once felt does not. Today's reminder: when I can't find a solution to a problem, when I have nagging doubts, fears, or frustrations, when I feel lost or confused, a searching and fearless moral inventory of myself can make a tremendous difference. Whenever I work the steps, I tell my higher power that I am willing to heal, to find a solution, to feel better. The energy that would have dumped into worry, tears, and obsession can be turned into positive action. We all wish good things to happen to us, but we cannot just pray and then sit down and expect miracles to happen. We must back up our prayers with action. Freedom from despair. Fair use. Just for today. Daily meditations for recovering addicts. February 24. A new influence. Personality change was what we really needed. Change from self-destructive patterns of life became necessary. Basic text, page 15. In early life, most of us were capable of joy and wonder, of giving and receiving unconditional love. When we started using, we introduced an influence into our lives that slowly drove us away from those things. The further we were pushed down the path of addiction, the further we withdrew from joy, wonder, and love. That journey was not taken overnight, but however long it took, we arrived at the doors of NA with more than just a drug problem. The influence of addiction had warped our whole pattern of living beyond recognition. The 12 steps work miracles, it's true, but not many of them are worked overnight. Our disease slowly influenced our spiritual development for the worse. Recovery introduces a new influence to our lives, a source of fellowship and spiritual strength, slowly impelling us into new, healthy patterns of living. This change, of course, doesn't just happen, but if we cooperate with the new influence NA has brought to our lives, over time we will experience the personality change we call recovery. The 12 steps provide us with a program for the kind of cooperation required to restore joy, wonder, and love to our lives. Just for today, I will cooperate with the new influence of fellowship and spiritual strength NA has introduced to my life. I will work the next step in my program. Fair use. Today, Emotions Anonymous, February 24th. Reflection for today. Am I identifying life as depression, anxiety, or another symptom? Am I afraid that if this unpleasantness were taken from me, there would be nothing left? Am I truly willing to have my misery taken away? Have I embraced a new way of life? Have I stopped picturing myself as an emotional cripple with the implication that I can never hope to recover? Do I acknowledge God, or do I worship and hold on to my self-pity and fear to change? Meditation for today. May my eyes be opened to the difference between believing that I cannot and should not ever change, or accepting myself as I am today and being able to change. Help me to know I am and have a choice to be more than my pain. Today I will remember. I will have the courage to accept the peace of the program. Fair use. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. February 24. Isolating. Being adult children, we have learned to endure colossal amounts of abuse and aloneness that only we understand. BRB, Big Red Book, page 68. As adult children, we often forget that isolating is as natural to us as breathing. We may not even realize that we are doing it. Our first reaction to pain is usually to hold it inward, waiting until we are in agony before we tell someone else or reach out for help. The tools of the ACA program help us to come out of our isolation and begin to form new habits. When something scares or upsets us, we can go to a meeting or call our sponsor. When we share how we feel in meetings, we look around the room and often see heads nodding in agreement. The feelings we were too ashamed to admit become not so bad after all, as we realize we are not alone. Our black and white thinking may even be causing us to see things as much worse than they really are. We have felt alone for a long time, but we don't need to feel that way anymore. By working the ACA program, we can place our trust in a higher power and know that we will be safe in turning our pain over. We can let go of the need to isolate. On this day, I will remember that I don't have to suffer in silence. I have a program that is helping me learn to break my habit of isolation. And that was the affirmation being read. DHB, Devotion, Health, and Beauty. Daily Affirmations.